Why do you only have one fire pit?
Why am I right next
What is
to you?
wrong with you?
I'm just a logger.
Well, after a little hiatus, we're back. Joined with Mike, Steven, and Joey King. I think we're just gonna BS session it tonight, boys. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Not take it too serious. We just got done eating some Wagyu beef and burger.
Straight from Japan.
That's pretty good.
Straight from
Straight from Japan. That was delicious.
The stick farm.
Which is, I guess, very, very pricey.
The only builders can afford that.
Yeah, if you get a
If
call.
you can afford to build
Yeah.
anything nowadays, you can afford it.
I'll give him your number next time. You'll be in this situation. Get a phone call at 4:30. Hey, what are you doing? I got a down steer we got to take care of now.
Did you say deer? No, steer.
Steer.
Steer clear.
So that was a 5 o'clock to midnight process. But got some free meat.
Free-ish.
Yeah, free-ish. It's good though.
Yeah.
Damn
It was
good,
good.
yeah.
I think it was worthwhile.
Yeah.
I mean, we cooked those
Good
burgers
for you,
like
too.
well done, and they were
Juicy.
juicy as all get out.
So, deer season's well underway. And the fire two are on the board. A couple of those.
They are.
Doe Patrol.
Me and Mike are just, whatever.
Selective.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's not 140 inches, like,
Right.
why bother?
Right.
Exactly.
It's kind of been my game plan. I haven't seen many deer.
Mine was like 40 inches long.
Was it that long? That was a good doe. What do you mean? That was an adult doe.
It was.
She had a full
It was
length
good.
snout.
Wasn't a picture perfect scenario that I wanted, but
That's bow hunting. They're not
Yep.
always going to be picture perfect.
yeah, no. But I like to
Mine
think
always have been. I've never lost one.
I like to think that we did everything right after I did wrong. So
Yeah, Joey was saying it sounds like, you guys backed out and you waited and after you jumped her up the first time or whatever, and yeah, what do you do?
yeah,
You got to get out of there.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but you got to let her die in peace,
Yeah, luckily I clipped a lung and part of the liver, so I had high hopes, and I thought that she was gonna die that night, but went back first thing in the morning and found her, and she was good, and it was a gut shot, or mostly gut, and I was able to salvage it and clean her up, and I didn't lose a stitch of meat, so plus.
Yeah, my first bow deer, I was telling you about that doe with the people bird hunting. That was straight through the guts. I mean, just absolute, like,
Dead center.
she was
Yes.
like broadside and I center punched the stomach.
Yeah.
Sock pumpkin sound.
We've all
Yeah.
done it.
Thump. Yeah.
Yep. Thump, and
So-
she humps right up.
No, just like squatted her ass end down and started running away. And I was like, so I got to my arrow. It's just literally like maybe a little bit of blood, but just like corn.
Yeah.
So we gave her 5 hours, and she went 100 yards and bled out. So there's some, I just severed some sort of artery, and she bled. She bled up. She wasn't bleeding, and then her stomach filled up, and then it started leaking out. I got a pass through, which is kind of easy to do through the stomach. But we started finding good blood. Like, oh man. And she was like rigor mortis. She probably died in she ran out of sight and probably laid down in 20 minutes, died. She was like rigor mortis.
Yep.
So, but gave her 5 hours, and just because
Yeah, when in doubt, back out.
I had my buddy looked at the arrow. He's like,
Oh,
we got to give her time. was like, how long? He's like, let's go in at 11. I was like, 11? He's gonna be 65 today. He's like, let's go in at 11.
Yeah.
I shot her 7:15 or something in the morning.
I had a
What do you do?
I had a doe, one of the Ohio trips. It was she came in. She was probably 20 yards away, and I don't know how I did it, but I shot like right over her back. And I was like, well, and she took a couple bounds, and I was like, she's probably at like 35 yards now. Drew back with another arrow because she's just standing there wondering what was going on. Shoot. I hit her. I watched her run maybe 40 yards. She like did a half circle. Boom, dead right from the tree stand. I'm like, I smoked her. Sweet. So I called Dad, Keith over. I was like, yep, I got one. They come over and they're like, where was she standing? I was like, she's like 35 yards. Get her back up a little bit. Because I just stayed in my stand. They told me to stay in my stand. And they're like, here? I'm like, no, a little bit further back. They're like, here? I'm like, no, a little further back. And they're like, we're like 50 yards right now. And I'm like, yeah, right about there. Same thing. I hit her right in front of the hind end. But Ty has a blood tracking book. And I'm like looking for things. And what I came up with is I must have hit the spleen. That was like there's a little article in there, like if you hit the spleen, it's gonna bleed out like instantly, within like seconds. And I'm like, that's where you gotta aim, is right in the spleen. Like, that was a fatal shot.
Shoot him in the spleen.
Yeah. The spleen's the size of a plum.
I thought you were gonna say you hit that femoral artery or something.
No,
No,
it's a spleen. You know, we've been giving him grief over this for years. Like, oh yeah, aim for the spleen. Most lethal organ in the thing. Like, I don't even know what a spleen does. Evidently, it kills you pretty
It
quick
kills
if you
you,
get a
yeah.
leak in it.
I think it filters the blood.
I don't know. After that, what I did learn is
Your
a
body's
rangefinder. Rangefinders are kind of handy.
Yeah,
35, 55. There's a little bit of a difference
That-
there with archery equipment.
That was the thing with my deer is this is the second year I've put my tree
My mic's
stand.
cold.
Want some gloves? I got gloves over here.
This is the second year I've put my tree stand where it is, and where the deer usually come out was in front of my tree stand. And this year they're coming behind me, which is good for cover, and they're not seeing me, and I can do jumping jacks and they won't see me, but my shot opportunities are very slim. So the night I shot that doe, it was a Monday, and we were doing a service on my machine up in Reading, and like 1:30, 2 o'clock came around, and I look at the mechanic, I go, "You think you can finish this without me?" And he chuckled, and he's like, "Yeah, why?" I was like, "I got a date with a seat about 20 feet up in a tree." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, good luck." And it like rained all morning, and then it cleared off, and it was like the first cool morning of fall. And I was like, I feel this night. This feels like a killing night. So I'm headed out late, and I'm 60 yards from my tree stand, and 30 yards from me is a doe just standing there looking at me. Like, oh crap. I was able to put my release on, knock an arrow, and just as I was looking up, trying to figure out, because there's a spike horn around there, so I didn't, obviously I can't, in my zone you can't shoot spike horns. So I was like trying to see the head, and then the deer blew and took off. I was like, damn it. So I quietly, slowly get into my tree stand. 30 minutes later, I got 2 doe coming in. And I got one coming in on my good shooting side, because I'm shooting backwards, everything's behind my tree stand. And so this one doe comes in and she's quartering hard to me. But she's like 20 yards, so I'm like, okay, take your time, make the right shot. And so I pull back, I hit my bow off of my bow holder, which makes it tink. And both doe stop. And I'm like, oh, why'd you do that? And I wait a second, and then they just go back to feeding. And this doe comes a little closer, and I pull back and I put my pin on her. And for some reason, I'm like, stay away from that shoulder. Which at this angle, I should have just aimed right for the shoulder.
Quartering 2.
Quartering 2 hard. And the way my tree stand sits, I'm not very high in the tree, but behind me, the land heads down. So it's a pretty steep angle. So I foolishly, like, avoid that front shoulder. I pull too far, and I send one right under her back strap, through the paunch, right out her teats. And she takes 3 bounds, goes about 20 yards, and she's standing broadside. And she's humped up like a deer that just got
Milk.
shot in the gut.
Yeah.
Piss off. And she stands there broadside for 20 minutes. And I've hunted this one particular tree for a long time, so I know all my yardage. But I don't know the yardage that she's at. So I'm standing there watching her. My rangefinder's at home. So I think she's about 50 yards, but she could be 40 or she could be 60.
Aim for the spleen.
But
Yeah, if you get another shot opportunity, send it right into that big old melon belly she's lugging around. Bloop.
but
Oh,
my
missed it again, damn it.
but my thought is, if I don't know the yardage, I'm probably just gonna send another one right to her gut.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why put 2 in her gut?
If you don't shoot if you don't know the yardage.
No.
Yeah,
So I just stand
I mean,
there and watch her.
General rule of thumb. Mikey gets away with it, I guess. But
So I just stand there and watch her for 20 minutes, just broadside, humped up. I'm feeling like,
so she just
Dog
stands-
shit.
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
yeah. And she'll flick her tail every once in a while. And this other doe is just feeding all around me. And I just watched her for like 20 minutes in that one spot, freaking breaking my heart. And then finally she goes another 15 yards where I can see her, and I watch her bed down. So I'm like, perfect. I'm like, I just gotta stay here until this other one meanders off out of sight so I can sneak down and come home and get my brothers, and we'll go recover in a while, because it was clearly a gut shot. And that other one is just giving me all these sweet shot opportunities, and I'm just gritting my teeth. So that other one, or the one I hit, goes and beds down, and then eventually she stands up, but she's going real slow. She takes a few steps and kind of gets out of sight. So I wait till this other one kind of meanders off, and she's headed away, and then I hear crash and like leaves and shit like stirring down where the one I hit was, and I was like, oh my, I wonder if she just freaking tipped over right there. Like, I don't know, but I wait till dark. I come home. Joey's in my garage skinning his deer. And so I was like, oh, I'll help him with that, and then get Mike down here, you know, give her a few hours. And we helped Joey. Then we go back out after dark. And she's not where I thought she tipped over. I'm like, damn it. Because you're like, I failed. Like, I know it's a gut shot.
It's not even the failing thing. It's just like
I know she's gonna die.
remorse for the
Yeah.
animal.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
We've all been like, it's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, I know. I killed
Horrible
this.
feeling.
I know I killed this deer. It's just a matter of time of when she's gonna die.
I've literally had what's it? Probably 3. I've shot and lost and literally cried over every one of them.
Yeah,
Like, it's a horrible feeling.
yeah. Because you know you took a. You
And,
just
like,
took a life.
What people don't understand is like, yeah, we're out there trying to kill the animal, but we love the animal more than anybody
Oh,
against
oh,
it
yeah.
ever will.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
You know what I mean? We have more compassion for those animals than any anti-hunter ever will.
Right.
But that's a hard message to portray.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
well, then just don't shoot
Then why
it.
are you killing
And it's like,
them if
I
you
can't
love
really
them?
argue with you. You know, if you don't want to hurt it, don't shoot it. That's hard to argue with.
Yeah.
They just don't understand how
How the whole
circle of life works. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's dude, I hear you. It's
Yeah.
like I don't sleep. It's yeah.
When I was watching her, I was
That
just like, please die, please die, because I'm like, I just inflicted this on you,
Yeah.
and you're still alive, and I can see you, and it's serial killer as it sounds. I'm like, all I want is for you to die, like sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Because I put death upon you, and from the shot and from how you're acting, it's gonna take
A long
8 hours for you to die, and I don't want that. I don't want you to suffer, and I don't want any animal to suffer. It's like, it's shitty, and you know, if all my intentions were for you to die in 20 seconds, but I was scared of that front shoulder, and she was quartering too hard. Not that I shouldn't have taken that shot, but I should have just centered it right in her shoulder and just punched through her shoulder. But I'm like, I don't know, for some reason,
You can Monday morning quarterback all you
oh
want.
yeah. And
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
I'm always scared of the shoulders because I'm like, I don't want to lose 2 pounds of burger. Seriously, like,
I didn't think you were gonna bring that up.
my daughter turned 1.
Go easy on him in the comments, folks.
You doubled it from the last time you said it, though.
Yeah, you said pound last time. But he's figuring a pass through.
But
yeah.
my, da-
Broadside.
my daughter just
Shoots a
turned
900 grain arrow.
Out of a 410.
my daughter just turned 1, and she's like wicked into eating like solid foods now, and we fed her backstrap from my deer last year, and she loves it. And I'm just like, I want as much meat as possible for my family. And looking back, I should have just punched that shoulder.
It's so easy to, you know, you can't hit pause in the moment.
No,
to
you
try
can't.
to figure out what your best decision is. You're making
And I
quick.
would
quick
give my
decisions.
life for a rewind button. Yeah, scoot it over 6 inches.
But you got her.
Yes.
You
Exactly.
didn't lose her.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Forget
I'm
the
like,
rewind.
yeah.
No, it was.
This is
Lesson
a
learned.
learning
Yeah.
experience for sure. If you get in that moment again and it doesn't feel like everything's winding and meshing together the way it's supposed to, don't touch the trigger.
Yeah.
I had that happen, I'm pretty sure, with the doe that I shot this year, the night before. I shot her the following morning, but I had an encounter and she crept in on me pretty quietly and just never really gave me a shot opportunity until right at the very end of like the shooting light, and she stepped into a small window. And I was like, I can't remember what there are for sticks in that window where she's standing. Not even gonna try. And it worked out. I whacked her the next morning. It's perfect.
Sometimes you can't even see what's between you and the deer when you're looking at the deer.
So if you feel like it's not 100%, green light, don't go.
Yeah, and also knowing what to look for if you do get that shot where it's not ideal,
Right.
and then acting in that way too, knowing that those are the signs of not a good hit. Got to give it time. You don't want to push it right off. Doing all the right things there. I want to know what people are seeing for sign in the woods. It's October 19th. It's been a fairly chilly October
Yeah.
compared to some of the ones in the recent past.
Yeah, it's been nice weather-wise.
My report from bouncing around some is I don't see any acorns.
Yeah, they're all gone.
So-
They clean them off. Them things started falling in August.
Mm-hmm.
We had such a drought this summer. They were like, "Yep, bye,
Peace.
see ya.
We're killing Mother Tree.
Yeah,
We can't hold on to you any longer. We need water for staying alive."
I'm working in Reading, Vermont right now,
It's
and
reading.
It's up near the railroad.
this freaking guy.
Well,
That might have been an old man joke. Sorry, guys. Reading railroad.
so it's spelt.
Reading.
We're just gonna clarify this right now. It's spelled Reading. Now, I've never been reading a book. Because I deliver there out of Springfield. And I'm like, it's reading. It's reading.
Don't
No,
worry.
that would be Redding.
Don't worry. I've never read no books either.
Well, I gotta tell you, if you spell Reading with 2 D's,
Isn't that your
you ain't
dream?
reading.
2D.
What would 2 D's in Reading be? Reading?
I don't know.
It'd be a double team.
Steve. Cut.
Jamie, edit that out.
Yeah, we got a Jamie here. Pull it up, JMO.
Right.
Pull it up.
But no, I'm working in Reading, and place is covered in oak
He's
trees,
gonna twitch
is,
every
yeah.
time you say
and
that.
I haven't
It is.
seen an acorn on that whole property.
Yeah.
Were you there when they are their caps from the year, or they just didn't
Nothing.
grow? Yeah.
Nothing.
The acorns I knew of have been mopped up, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
Well, Joey said
I
that
can't
Brian's
find anything fresh.
Brian's oak tree at his house, frickin' neighbor's dogs. I can tell
Those
you.
coyotes are still looking for Steven's deer.
That's a 15-pound coyote. A little Chihuahua dachshund mix.
But you said Brian's tree was loaded.
Yeah, the one in his yard when we did the
Yeah.
podcast at Brian's shop. That thing
Really?
was just like dumping acorns. I actually parked kind of.
You had one on your seat.
Like, this is great.
You picked one off your seat, didn't you?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a fresh one this year.
But that was like,
That was like
you know,
something
September
ago.
20 something.
Yeah.
You know.
And the ground was
They're
like
gone.
they would leaf blow them off the driveway and have to do that a couple times a week, I think.
Which there were oak trees absolutely raining. Like 2 days before opening day, I went in to that. I was hunting that newer cut next to the old cut. The old cut's like 10 years old. It's a bedding area. It's like a 15-foot canopy, you know, thick. And they were literally, it was right before a rainstorm. It's the only reason I went in there. And they were literally raining. I'm like, oh.
That's the
If
dinner
to-
bell.
If tonight was opening day, like, man, I'd be in the chips. And then I hunted it opening day. Had that, what I've now called the cut buck, come in. I've seen him 3 times now. And he busted me. And then I couldn't hunt. Like, literally, I couldn't hunt. That was a Thursday. I couldn't hunt until, like, the following Monday night. And they were gone.
It's crazy.
And then I was like, okay, start over, and I've seen that buck twice since then. Both times I jumped him leaving one morning, and I jumped him going in one afternoon. He was at like 3 o'clock. He was already out of that cut, feeding just on browse in the newer cut. I've watched him run away twice now when I was 8 points of glory, but there's a community scrape on the other side of that cut that but it's going to be warm this weekend. I don't know. I might just go all in on him, and I've left it alone. I don't even have a camera in there. Just hunting it the past couple of years, I know that like it's a big community scrape. The intersection of 2 logging roads under this hemlock, it's just absolutely raped every year. So I think I'm just gonna maybe just go in Saturday night early, and it's gonna be like 68 degrees or something Saturday. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but we're getting into, what's Saturday, the 22nd?
Yep.
Yeah.
Still haven't got a doe. Like the does use those community scrapes
Oh, for sure.
more than bucks do.
Yep.
So I don't know.
We had a good buck down the road here. Yesterday?
Yeah.
Yesterday. It's just a 4-pointer, but that's...
And my wife was driving home with the
Decent
kids,
enough. Did
and
you
my
see that?
oldest
Yeah.
looked out the window and he's like, "Stop! There's a buck!" My wife's like, "What?"
Yeah, I wasn't gonna share that with the world, but I guess
She throws it in
Joey's
reverse.
stand
and-
is
I don't know where
the,
you're
the new community stand.
Yeah, the
No.
thing just stood there.
Your stand's on the road, bro?
Let him get a good
No,
picture.
It's a mobile stand.
So you're road hunting.
No.
I'm just kidding. These guys are legit. These aren't road hunters. Well, Stephen might be.
Come on. I just punched a deer.
I know, you gotta shoot quick from the road. I get it. You got away from that shoulder. And that's what they make crossbows for, right? They fit out the windows of Chevys.
Hit his bow on the bow holder means it bumped the mirror.
That's not your typical 1.5-year-old 4-pointer.
No, look at it. That's
Big deer.
that's gotta be 170 pounds.
I would think so.
These thing's a
Jeez.
horse.
I saw a 4-pointer from my stand the day before.
I'd put a picture of it up here, but then people might actually know who you are.
Yeah.
Because that thing's not. That's a non-typical. If you think about it, that's not a typical 4-pointer. You say, what'd you get opening day? I got a 4-pointer.
Yeah.
What do you weigh? 176. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I shot a 4-pointer on the last day of Vermont Rifle, the Sunday after Thanksgiving, 150 pounds,
Wow.
16-inch. And
Yeah.
I had another 4-pointer on camera down there that was, he was fighting everything. I found what I call the boxing ring. It was this big, like, they would just meet up. I don't know if it was a scrape or like literally they would just meet up and fight.
Like,
And that 4-pointer was there every night. He'd fight 10 pointers, 8, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he was like,
Scrappy son of a
Yeah.
gun.
the first rule of Fight Club is, talk about Fight Club.
yeah. Well, this was in 2015, so
We still don't talk about it.
I had a spot one year
I'll tell
where,
everybody right where it is because I don't hunt there anymore.
where I had bucks
Too many people.
fighting in front of the camera on multiple occasions. It's kind of neat. There was like one good scrape and then a bunch of little ones, like piddly ones, aggressive, maybe a standoff and I'm gonna make a scrape and look tough type thing before they rattled antlers. But yeah, I think that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah.
Finding that spot's just the tough part.
I found a signpost last year, a maple signpost, which I've never seen. And it was the same. When I found it, it was kind of too late. It was like end of October, so all this behavior had gone by, but the same thing. Like it was all torn up right in front of that signpost. That's just where they met.
Yep.
And now that I studied that area a little bit more this year, a big. It's right next to this. It's called a brook, but it's like a big, like parts of it are chest deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's this little pinch down point where you can walk across it. on the north side's deep, on the south side's deep, whatever. It might be east-west, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But, and that signpost is there. On the other side of the brook is a big dugout community scrape. And there's another signpost with a scrape in front. It's just kind of like a meeting area. And I found one of those last year. I'm like, holy crap.
Okay.
All the ferns were like turned over. And I'm like, man, I wish I had a camera in here like a week ago.
Yeah.
But I missed
Yeah.
it. Hoping to catch it this year. I put one in there this year, but those things are cool to find.
Or
Oh,
forget some snow. Go there.
Oh, absolutely.
trash.
The problem is we don't.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, in the River Valley, we just don't.
It is tough. I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to approach November because I've pretty much decided I'm taking the whole thing off. And
Again, you want a job at Webb? I'll take your job for November. Take mine.
right. So
Well, you got a dough now, so
yeah, so I got
Pressure's
What's a
on.
right angle? 45. I cut a 46, Brian. You can make that work?
yeah, we turn some hard corners sometimes. A little further than 90 degrees. Depends on who taped it.
Wood glue.
If I taped it, you gotta cut a 47 on each side to get around the thing. But yeah, I don't know, because Brian mentioned the other day maybe continuing to work the first week of November and taking the first week of December, just to try
Retire.
to fall into the snow a little better. But
It's only what you want to.
See, it helps. So people don't know watching. So his boss is a deer tracker.
he's a smart man.
So
I think he's giving me words of wisdom here.
he has an exception. Us idiots that work for big business don't have that option. Our boss owns yachts. Brian has no yachts. He does his own gunsmithing though. That's
This is true.
with a hacksaw and
I think we got to get that rifle that you were shooting the other day up to his shop. Saw that thing off.
not this year.
Oh, come on, just stub it right off. Just lop that thing.
I am not opposed to next year though. After the season's done, dude. Once what was it this year? December 8th or 9th or something. New Hampshire's done rifle. Do all the lopping you want because
Yep.
it's Patriot from then on out.
I would like to get that
you
sight
get
put back
a
on
new
there.
rifle.
Yeah,
What'd you get?
new to me. Sportsman 76. He bought it off Brian.
Oh,
Well, I'm borrowing it till I kill a buck with it.
Yep.
then
And if I
you-
kill a
then
buck
you
with it,
gotta
I'm
buy
buying it. I told him that. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah, I have no sentimental tie to it. It was kind of something that just showed up, and I thought, you know, if they are going to start being super expensive and hard to find, snag one. And
So
I
I'm,
actually
I'm sorry.
ordered,
I'm sorry to the first spike horn I see.
right. I ended up getting a what the hell's the name of the peep? Why can't I think of the
Skinner.
name of it? A Skinner sight, yeah, dude. I ordered a Skinner peep for it because I was thinking rainy day gun. It's got birch stalks on it. It's like a brushed matte bluing on the barrel. It's not a
Woods
flashy. Yeah, exactly. It's like one that you wax
It's a tracking gun.
wax spruce out of the
Oh
way
damn!
with.
I was gonna bring that freaking Whalen too. I'll show it to you guys someday. But yeah, that one you don't like. I mean, I track with it, but
I want to hang on the wall.
yeah, or sell for $4,000 or whatever it's worth right now.
Right.
It's insane, but
Just wait
Yeah, I
10
don't-
years, it'll be 40 grand.
Retirement fund.
yeah, but it's just it's. I sent you the pictures of the stock.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's
That thing
crazy.
is like
curly walnut, like curly all the way through one side, and then the other side has like a lightning bolt stripe of curly. It's got
Yeah.
that fancy fluid-a-loo, whatever they call it, checkering.
Yep.
That they had on the.
Yeah, that fruit of the loom checker.
A little-
Mine's just got the Hanes.
I call it underwear checking.
what did Hal call it? Florida lore.
I don't.
What Florida lore checkering? It's some French word. I don't
Yeah.
know. It looks freaking nice.
It does.
I
what
mean, the
was,
thing-
what was my response? I
the
think I
things that-
wrote,
the
that's
things
the
that-
shit that'll make you believe in God.
The things that like it just seems so cheesy. like the safety is like, it sounds like a 22 pistol going off when you take the safety off of it, and then they didn't put any oil on the O-ring in the pump. That dry rotted out and just fell out. So that and like that's what you want, right? In the old 760s, you took the O-ring out, so you
Right.
had a quick action and it never rattled. Well, this thing was like when you walked with it. So I put the O-ring back in it. Like I'd rather
That's-
work the action a little bit harder than have my gun rattle when I'm trying to track a buck.
Yeah.
It's a collector's item. It's
It is. Or if I someday draw a moose tag,
there you
that
go.
gun's going
Yep.
with a 225 grain bullet.
Yep.
Because I saw a 35 wheel and stop it. I don't know what Lee was shooting for a bullet. The partitions, I don't know what grain.
Oh, nozzler partition. Yeah.
I don't know what grain, but it stopped it.
Yeah.
Stopped it real quick.
That was impressive.
That animal was sizing that thing up. What do you think? Dude, it's Friday.
Shoot.
It's Friday. That's a Friday bull all day.
It's a Monday ball.
Wasn't it number one for that year in the state?
I don't know. It made Book. It made Mastic, and then it was just by a few eighths. It was Boone and Crockett.
I thought it was the biggest bull in the Maine
It might have been. I can't
harvested
remember.
that year.
I vaguely remember hearing that too. I thought.
And they had trail cam pictures of it.
Yeah.
And Steven said all the years they've been doing that, been running cameras, they've never killed a bull they had on camera.
That's awesome.
And on a 40-year permit,
Yep.
just the whole thing was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was even a part of that. The whole thing was insane.
Nobody deserved it more than
Absolutely
Lee.
not.
Yeah,
Zero
for sure.
people on this planet deserved it more than him. It wasn't his first bull. That would have
No.
been more insane.
he's a good dude.
But yeah, just he's called in hundreds of moose, fulfilling other people's dreams, and he shot a moose, a decent bull, as a sub permittee years back. I think it was his father's permit actually. But yeah, it was crazy. That first one he passed up Thursday. I mean, you could have killed that with a bow. It walked in like, I don't know, maybe 20 to 22 yards,
Yeah.
and just stood there.
How big was that? 50?
He said it was probably about 50.
Yeah. Oh, I could not
Yeah,
have the discipline.
Oh, hell
but,
no.
I mean,
yeah.
he's been on so many moose hunts that
But that was Thursday. I mean,
Yeah. That was.
yeah. He was
Yeah.
just sitting there licking his chops. He eventually got it wind swirled and he busted us. But it was warm all week, and Thursday or Wednesday night, Wednesday came in just freaking hurricane Maine came in and just, I mean, it was blowing sideways and pouring rain. And then we woke up the next day to it was a cold front. That's what
Yeah.
was coming in.
Yeah, like
And it
the
was just-
reset button.
It was like,
Yeah.
you started seeing critters, and
Yeah.
we didn't hurt. Actually, we never hurt a cow. I don't know what they call it. I think Lee called it ball.
Yep.
I
yeah.
heard a cow ball all week. Never heard one. And we pulled that moose he shot away from cows. And they never made a peep. Never tried to keep them.
No kidding.
So I still have never in my life heard a cow make that sound.
That week too, though. That week of archery that we had to hunt was warm. It was
That was
getting up,
too warm.
pushing 80 during the days, and you're like, nothing's gonna move until the sun goes down.
No. Yeah, it was rough. And then what? 2 weeks later, Jeremy brought a client out and killed that bull that we were hunting.
Yeah, we had quite a few
And that
pictures
was-
of him.
That was number one in the state of Vermont that year, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That thing is a beast.
He doesn't know what he's
stud.
Lucky.
Yeah, he's lucky.
Yeah, he sent me pictures that bull did, and I was like,
He probably had
Yeah.
you guys on trail camera or something.
He did. He
Oh, I'm
did.
sure
He did.
Oh yeah, we saw his cameras, and I texted him. I'm like, "You got pictures of me?" He's like, "Yes, I do." I was like, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
so.
Don't go to the bathroom there next time.
Yeah, why are you pissing on my camera?
He's like, "You're smaller than I thought."
Well, what would you think his guess was?
About 3.
So you're illegal.
Yes,
3-pointer.
I'm technically antlerless.
I don't know if you're gonna learn anything here, folks, but it's gonna be entertaining.
You're gonna have a laugh. No, I'm excited to see what.
You guys got any time off this year for hunting, or what's the plan?
I'm going to Ohio November 1st.
Are you going out with the old man? And
Yeah. Keith.
Keith?
Keith.
I saw him walking his dog on the way here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going out there, see what happens. It's fun going out there. It's so different from here.
How so?
Just you see deer.
Yeah, that is different. Oh, one thing I wanted to say, we were talking about earlier, with you, like, talking about with your deer, situations like, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But it's hard to have a lot of those experiences hunting here because you don't have a lot of opportunities of deer.
No.
You know what I mean? So, like, to become a seasoned veteran, somebody in Ohio might experience in 5 years, like, have 20-some doe under their belt.
Right.
Yeah.
We
and-
just don't have those opportunities. So, like, it's harder to, you know, you can shoot at a 3D target all you want from a tree stand, from your saddle, whatever you're hunting out of. You can do that all you want. It's not a deer.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't move.
Doesn't get you excited either.
Doesn't get your heart pumping.
No.
And you can shoot it weird, and there's no consequences.
Right. And when you're shooting out of a tree stand at a target, you're shooting your target where you hope that the deer would be.
Yeah.
In my case,
You're setting up all the situations perfectly.
my deer was behind me, and like I said, I bumped my bow off of my freaking bow holder, which my backpack is like right below it, and I'm like, I actually leaned back to shoot this deer, so I'm not like,
Everything's wrong.
it's not like a nice practice situation.
Yeah.
But
Those
I've
are like all the caution signs that you're going to be looking for next go around though. It's like, hey,
yeah,
Am I
slow up.
contorted in any way?
Yeah, don't be
Yeah.
doing this.
but I mean it's from years of hunting around here,
Staring at nothing.
and I've gone to Ohio, 4 or 5 times, where when we go to Ohio, you got more people hitting deer, and so you know how to read that arrow, or everyone gets excited. There's no doubt about that, but you just gotta dial it back and be like, all right, where did you hit it? Half the time they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, climb up in your tree stand and show us where it was when you hit it. And a lot of times it's, 5-10 yards from where they're looking for an arrow. So just to have the ability to like slow it down, press pause, like replay this in your mind. Where was that deer standing? Where were you aiming? Where do you think you hit it? Because
And then where did you lose sight of the deer?
yes.
Right.
So fortunately with my deer, I'm kind of seasoned enough to know, like, when I hit that deer, I pinpointed, all right, it's between these 2 little pecker poles. It's a sugar bush. So I gotta sap line here, big maples. There's 2 young maples. It was standing right in between those. So that was my first instinct after I knew that I freaking punched the damn thing in the gut. I was like, fuck. So I'm like, alright, it was standing right there. I had a lighted knock on my arrow. Okay, it was standing right there. And then when I watched it for 20 minutes humped up, freaking pulling my hair out, I was like, alright, it's right next to this like multi-liter trashy freaking scary looking ash tree. Like it was right next to that stump. Or right next to the base of that tree. And then when it did what it did, it was like, whatever. But I took into account where it went, where it bedded, where I last saw it. But when I went out with my brothers, and I was like, I hit it right in here, and we couldn't find anything. We went out in the dark, and I was like, it stood next to this nasty ash tree for 20 minutes. I'm like, there's gotta be something there. So I walk next to that ash tree and I find blood. So like, boom, like my homework paid off. Because when I was standing in my tree stand, I was like, all right, where is it? What's it doing? Like,
Yeah, just documenting all
and
this stuff.
I'm looking at the time, how long it's standing there. It's freaking humped up. I'm freaking kicking myself in the ass. So when we go to try to find it, they're not like
Yeah.
asking me a million questions. Because when we did get out there, Mike was like, do you want to go up in the stand and look down and see where it was standing when you hit it and all this? And I was like, I could do that, but I know it stood next to this big nasty tree for freaking 20 minutes. I walk down there and I find blood.
Yeah.
So like I did half the homework from my tree stand while I'm waiting for the deer to, I'm waiting for this other one to get out of here because I don't want to spook her, which will spook the one that I just freaking punched. So I'm,
Still hard on himself.
oh god,
Recovered the deer, but still beating
it
himself
sucks.
up.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I know.
Yeah.
If I was
I
6
think
inches,
that was a
Sucks
traumatic
worse when you
experience.
don't recover them.
if I was 6 inches to the left, we would have had that deer hanging that night.
Hey, speaking of 6 inches to the left, this fire is like melting my pants.
Good.
Let's like.
Oh, so you're not
let's do
shivering?
it. No, I'm not shivering. I'm actually. I stripped a layer off thinking it would be better, but it's like now
I think
burning.
Jason wants to switch.
You want to switch spots?
Kinda.
Let's do it. Come on
flip-flop,
over, man.
do it. That was, everything worked out great, but it's not a scenario that I wanted.
Well,
No.
Muffin.
I should have.
I haven't seen a deer yet from my tree stand.
I should.
What do you want? You got cameras and stuff out?
No. He's gonna go on Halloween and freaking kill a giant.
I was just about to say,
Saving
what do
himself
you, what
for
do you
some
guys want to bet? He
personal
just
best.
Freaking whacks a giant. I don't know. I feel like it's coming this year.
I'm nervous. They're youth hunting in my favoriteest neck of the woods. They'll probably shoot a giant 12 right off first thing, and I'll be like, I've
There's a
never
giant
in my
12 not about.
entire life been able to find anything like that. And Mike just steps into the woods and there it is.
I don't know if we'll get there.
Here you go, Mike King. Yeah, you might be. Are you starting somewhere
We're
else?
starting, yeah, that spot.
Yep. That's cool because he picked that out.
Yeah.
Scouted it out, looking at Onyx.
Yeah, we were waiting to go into the dentist's office, so I just showed him my Onyx, and I said, "Well, they require written permission on youth weekend on private land." I was like, "You haven't got any permission, bud. So look for the green areas on this map. We can hunt any green spot." So he started poking around, and zoomed in on one, and state forest. You can see some logging that happened at sometime recent to whenever they took that aerial photo, and knowing that I haven't seen any acorns, some fresh cuts will ought to have some activity around him. So
Oh, definitely.
he got to pick his little waypoint mark. He chose a buckhead, put a point out there, and we're gonna go try to find it.
Yes, but so not this weekend, but the coming weekend
This weekend.
This
It's
weekend.
this weekend. It's youth weekend.
in Vermont.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because the following one is early muzzleloader. That antlerless season.
It's
So
youth
the
weekend
next
and
2
novice
weekends are getting
weekend.
trampled.
So youth weekend in New Hampshire and Vermont are the same weekend. That's crazy. Huh.
It was never like that until they introduced that antlerless, the early.
Youth
Right.
weekend always used to be just the weekend,
weekend
before
before.
rifle.
Rifle.
Yep.
Yeah. But so the following weekend you can hunt.
Yep.
With a bow, you can hunt
Right through.
this weekend.
Yeah.
No, I know, but
During
he's
the-
not. He's gonna be taking.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Taking Mike
Yeah.
out.
So
Yeah, it works out good actually, time wise.
so you're gonna go out the following weekend and smash a giant.
I don't, the following weekend, no, I'm gonna probably hold off till the
No. Halloween.
yeah, Halloween's when I'm gonna start.
Well, that's Monday this year.
Yep.
Yeah, he's thinking.
So you're
that-
working that first week in November.
Yeah.
I got that week off.
Yeah, I basically said
Scrape week.
I should have 3 mornings where I don't have to drop off the kids. So if the conditions are good, I'm not gonna be at work.
What's your plan? What do you hunt? Scrapes?
Yes. Yep. For years I had cameras set up on this one. It's a community scrape that's there every year, and it's so funny. It took years to figure out the pattern just because I wasn't paying attention. But after a while, it's like, oh, you see a ton of nighttime activity. Like midnight to 4 a.m. scrapes throughout October. Like
Yeah.
bucks there, multiple bucks. And then it's always it's got to be. I guess looking the other day, it's as early as the 27th, but it's usually Halloween on. It's just okay. Now
Switch.
there's daylight activity, and I've learned.
I just want to make sure this is documented in case you smash a big one with no cameras and no just I know this community scrape is hot. I'm gonna go in and hunt it.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Oh, yeah.
What
He's
took
done it
time
four times on this
I had to
one
figure out
scrape.
to not screw it up before then. Stay out of there when the deer are not knocked or not out there.
Because you screw the does up.
Yeah, you
Like, you
get your
bump that
scent in
family
there.
group
You're
of
just
does.
putting your scent in the woods and creating a level of pressure that isn't really necessary if you're hunting something that's only coming out in the dark. You're just messing yourself up.
Yep.
So I paid off for you last year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Shoots his personal
His
best and then goes up to Maine and shoots his
Heaviest
personal
buck,
best.
and then shoots a heavier one in Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been bouncing around some. I
that
got
was
a
weight,
new
not rack. Weight. Sorry.
I got a new pack frame to get my hang and hunt set up in the woods. So it's been good to just get out, try to get up in a tree.
There's money in logging too.
I thought it was a frame pack.
What? What'd you just say?
I said there's money in logging
You take
too.
that back.
Look at you, QU.
You take that
Captain
back.
QU. You don't give that stuff away.
You got November off. What's your plan?
I don't know yet. Yeah, what am I doing in November? I don't know yet.
Yeah,
I've got some options. I've got some places I can go.
I got some windows for you, Jim.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw my tool belt in the dumpster and have to buy new tools when I get back from hunting because
Yeah.
I don't want to have to
You're
use that thing at all.
I'm retiring.
But
A month.
This thing is hot, dude.
it was starting to get me, man.
I see.
I was like, if you watch the footage, you can see me over there. I'm like, yeah.
I can see how it would get warmer. I'm just like now feeling like I'm not freezing to death.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just keep rotating this seat out.
Musical chair.
Circle. I mean, this one's perfect.
For those listening to this, you're gonna have to go to YouTube and watch the video version to see what we're talking about here. But,
At your own risk.
yeah. Yeah.
But no, I
don't
think
have
just-
any sponsors. I don't care.
I think just having an open schedule and trying to chase snow. You know, I've got some stuff sorted out for
but that snows. You know, what are you doing like the first week? Well, you might be working
probably
the first
catching up with all my crap so that when the snow flies, I can just go.
week. Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to be in a better position than that going into it, and I'm way behind.
Yeah.
Just like the workload's just crazy, and I've got myself involved in other projects and stuff that just chews up time. But, oh man.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I got an invite up to actually Jason's uncle, Jim Olmsted's camp in, I believe that's Wellington, Maine. I've never been up there. He said there's some pretty good spots to get in some big woods, so that's really all I'm looking for. But I don't know. He's going up the first week of Maine's rifle season, and I would really like to do that.
But that's the
on
first week of
snow.
November.
Right.
Yeah. it's a good chance.
Odds of snow aren't super
pretty,
high then.
pretty slim. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. That's why I think Brian's saying maybe take the first
Go,
week
Mo.
and work
Go.
instead.
Yeah.
You can have the first week of December.
So I could take the first week of December and land on snow, you know, or have a higher degree of, you know, probability that there will be snow. But because I've pretty much determined that unless I can do extensive scouting in a big woods situation, that fairground and big woods do not mix for me.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, especially when I have areas that I can go that are higher percentage areas on fairground rather.
I got a bone to pick with you.
About what? Oh, good God.
When? What was the first
When we were
morning?
kids.
Oh, come on.
What was the first morning you bow hunted?
The second Saturday.
Second
of the
Saturday.
season.
Okay. Yeah. I get a phone call. And it's like, oh, bow hunting's so stupid, and I don't even know where to go and what to do, and I don't even know why I bow hunt. Whoa, whoa.
Did I threaten to cut the string?
Yeah, you threatened to cut the string on your bow.
Yeah.
And I go, at the end of your rant, I go, Joey, you're gonna kill a deer within the next 2 days. So I don't want to hear it.
Nancy came out.
The next morning, I get a text from Joey, which is a picture of a dead doe. And I'm like, mm-hmm. Steven was right again.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like, just keep working on it. You'll figure it out.
Gotta chip away at it.
He sits one time, doesn't see a deer. Bow hunting, stupid. Okay, just try again.
No, that was more of an accumulation of just feeling totally unprepared. Like I did not get
It's
my
every
homework done.
bow season,
Yeah,
Joey.
it is.
Try not having a
It's
house.
like- I just get freaked out because it's like I'm fortunate enough to have a fair amount of time to hunt, not necessarily a lot of time to scout right now. Which during this section of the year, like bow season, October for me, it just changes so much around here so quickly that it doesn't feel like scouting during the season in lieu of hunting is gonna land me on the doe group. And that's really what I use archery hunting for, is for doe. I prefer to hunt bucks during the rut with a rifle. I don't know why, but I've just had a good stretch of luck doing that, and that's just like what I've associated deer hunting with a rifle around here as, you know. But I don't know. So
Well,
I had a
Vermont
rough
wants-
morning that morning, getting my stuff up in there in the dark, just going in blind. And I didn't even get all my stuff put together the night before, so I was up at 3 in the morning, took my shower, went outside and organizing my stuff in the shop, and like, hey, okay. I was soaked in sweat and froze my ass off that morning because I didn't have my system down. And it actually was cold. We had a frost that morning, so I was like, oh, first day out in the woods, and I am not in the swing of things. But yeah, I had a little bit of a Nancy moment there.
This thing's not even recording. When did that get shut off?
Maybe when the dog yanked the cord.
I'll shoot her.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was recording. Oh, the card filled up. How do I tell?
What do we have? We can stick the card in and just.
I have other cards, but
But I mean, like a
Oh,
computer,
dude.
and pull it up and be like, oh, there it is.
I'm just gonna hold this till it stops.
I'm gonna grab a can of chip.
I might warm up my left
23 minutes in, it stopped.
How long have we been going? 30?
An hour and a half.
Oh, that sucks. See, I was not looking at that.
It need.
When it turns red, does that mean that it's not recording anymore? Or was green just playback?
Green was just playback.
Oh.
So it never.
Red was just telling you that those 4 channels were on.
Yep.
Oh
But
shit.
this record button has a red indicator above it. But like, if an SD card fills up, it should beep at you or
It'd be-
something.
yeah, if you had
this
like
doesn't
beep in
beep on
your-
low batteries either. It just shuts off. That's why when it gets there's 3 bars of battery. When it gets down to 1 bar, I like. If it's like tailing to the end of the podcast, I won't change them, but I'm watching it like.
Right.
Because it'll just shut. Pat Guyette lost a podcast with Mark Woodman, Timmy, me, him, and at one point Timmy's cousin Seth jumped in. But Woodman was talking about filming the Benoits. Lost all of it for that same reason.
The card filled up. Oh.
Doesn't tell you.
Wait, Mark filmed the Benoit?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he used to film Lanny. Yeah, you can.
I wonder if can you pull an audio file off of this
It's
thing?
gonna sound like.